After around 3 years of ownership and lot of happy countless kilometers in the car, it's now time for a video. So the Ford Ecosport is not alien to the Indian market at all. It has been around the Indian market forever now, and it is almost a decade old car, and still this is one of those cars which actually have a cult following of its own. Similar to the WAG groups, the Polos, the Ventos, the Audis, the Lauras and the Octavia VRSs, even the Ford Ecosport has a strong cult following even to the date. What's most surprising is that the company has officially left the country in terms of sales, and still the car is #1 car in the used market, which is absolutely astonishing, and it tells how good of a product the Ford EcoSport is. I think one of the major reasons for the popularity of this car has to go down to the overall package that this car brings to the table, and of course the looks, which I'm going to start talking about now. In my opinion, this is the best angle to look at the car from. The look is absolutely muscular, the eyes are very sharp, and this is an overall very aggressive looking car from up front. I really love cars and I really love aesthetics, and this car is completely up to the mark. It does have a few awkward angles to look at it, but the majority of the car is absolutely picture perfect. The car boasts a very beefy look, like the wheel arches are bulged out from the front and the back. The car is a compact SUV, but it still gives the persona of it being a completely rugged looking SUV. I'll be very honest, I sometimes feel that this car looks more German than American. It has a timeless design, especially after the facelift. The car looks absolutely timeless. I mean, this is a 2018 model and it looks fresh till date. Now that we're talking about the car and the looks, let's hop inside the car and see how the interior feels. So I'll be starting off with the driver's seat because this is the place where you'd want to be. This is undoubtedly a driver's car, and I would never imagine myself being on the passenger side or being at the back, because this, being an enthusiast, this is a no-brainer. So when you sit inside the car, the first thing that I notice is how premium and how elegant the interior feels. It's not overdone, it's very simple, it's very luxurious, it feels very premium and upmarket. The second thing you feel the moment you enter the interior is the quality and the ergonomics. The touch and feel of the plastics is lovely. I come from a Skoda Rapid and this car actually lives up to the mark. The plastics, they haven't developed any sort of squeaks or creaks even after driving the car for around 50,000 kilometers now, and I have taken this car a lot of places. I've been to Shrinkula Pass, I've been to Varanasi, I've been in the mountains, in the flats for a lot of period of time. The steering wheel, it's nice, it's decently sized. However, I would really love a thicker steering wheel because this one feels a bit thin to hold. It is a leather wrapped unit, but it does feel very thin in the hands, but that is something which you could ignore, and a thicker steering wheel wrap could actually make up for it. Now the infotainment screen has been provided by Microsoft, if you all didn't know. It is called the Sync 3 system. This is absolutely lag free. I've been in cars with touch screens, which I'm not a fan of entirely, but having a very decent, a very fluid screen actually adds up to the experience a lot. My phone, the moment I enter, it is connected before I boot up the car, and this exact unit is found in Ford's almost entire lineup, so to speak. The Ford GT, the Ford RS, the start stop button is over here, which is decently placed. It's very visual, and the AC controls are over here. A single zone climate control AC. You've got some storage space here where you can keep your phone or your wallet. You've got cup holders here, a small change collector, and you've got another cup holder here, which I'm currently replaced with a small trash can. This is also a Ford trash can. And on the left hand side, you've got a small armrest, which I would love if it was a bit more up ahead. It is deep, but it's not very wide, so only a limited stuff can go inside. The door pockets are decent. This is a generic 1 liter bottle, which comfortably fits inside. And you can fit actually two bottles, one lying down and one vertically. The audio system is lovely in this car. You've got absolutely no complaints. Alright, so that's the front of the car. I'm sorry there are so many flies inside of my car and the car is a bit dirty. I have been away from the car for a few days. And okay, so the rear of the car. The ingress and outgress is decently fine. It's easy. The seats are actually scooped out from behind. You've also got a small storage flap here. You've got a small cup holder over here. It's not small, I'm sorry, it's a bit wide. It's perfect for two people to lay their arms at once. The seat is absolutely comfortable. I've got no complaints. I've got a 12-volt socket over here. The boot opens by a small button inside of the chrome garnish behind the tail lamp. You press the button and pull it. I'm so sorry because the car is a bit dirty at the moment. The boot space, it's not very large. I find it a bit small for my longer trips because it can fit up to 2 large carry bags and 1 small backpack at max. The parcel tray has to remove in order to accommodate the 2 large suitcases. The parcel tray can be removed easily, but that's only for tours. The tailgate is also scooped out to give just that bit more extra room. If I had to talk about a few drawbacks of the car, I'll start off with the rear wheel on the trunk. In terms of looks and aesthetic, it absolutely shines 10 on 10 marks for that. But the downside of having the rear wheel on the trunk is that, first of all, the boot actually opens like a door. So in tight spaces where I'm parked from the back, I find it quite difficult to access the boot. Additionally, because of the extra added weight on the rear trunk door, the car squeaks and rattles a lot because of the weight, a lot. So I have to regularly grease all the rubber biddings and all the hinges inside and outside the car in order to make it rattle free. One thing I forgot completely is to show you one of the unique selling points of the variant, which is the bomb-proof 1.5 TDCI. So you've got no hydraulic struts, so you've got to put this beam over here. And just to tell you guys and showcase how heavy the hood is, see the bend on the rod. So this exact engine has been part of the Ford stable for a lot of cars. The Figo, the Fiesta, the Focus abroad, not in India, and the Ecosport. This is a trustworthy bomb-proof engine. It gives decent mileage if you are controlling your right foot. This is a super reliable, super efficient, and super fun at the same time. So I'm absolutely drenched in sweat thanks to the lovely 43-degree temperature around NCR. The summers are brutal. And additionally, now it's time for us to go for a drive. And let me just talk you to the best part about the car. Oh, that's an Aprilia 457. Better get the extended warranty. Alright guys, we're inside and now moving in the Ford Ecosport, we have motion. The moment you enter the car and the moment you put your foot down the gas, the first thing you observe is how quick and how responsive the gas pedal is, the throttle pedal. The throttle is super snappy and super sensitive. I mean, it is good because the car responds to you perfectly. It is a super crisp system, but the downside of it is if you press it a bit too much, or if you're a heavy right-footed person, which I definitely am, then fuel average would definitely take a hit, which is the case with me. I've seen people who drive sanely can easily extract upwards of 18 to 19 kmpl, but whenever I'm out driving, I've never seen, I mean, I have seen good numbers on highways, but in cities, I've never seen a number above 16. That is because I am a heavy right-footed driver and I usually like to stay in the happy rev range, which is usually between 2 to 3000 RPM. The turbo does kick very early, should be around 1900 to 2000 RPM. And the biggest downside is right in front of you of this car. In 3, 2, 1. I mean, the GoPro stabilizer worked here, but I think the biggest drawback of this car is that the car is too stiff for a family to be comfortable in. I mean, when she goes, man. For a family, this car is very stiff, but that stiffness is what makes the car truly stand out. The true character of the EcoSport lies in the stiffness of this car. The key highlight in terms of performance of the EcoSport is not power, it's not the mileage, it is this. The steering, the unmatched steering response. Steering is so damn connected to you, to the car, that it is basically a point and shoot kind of thing with this car. If I look over there, it just absolutely darts itself, which I think is absolutely commendable, because a car, anybody can build a fast car, but not everybody can build a stable car. A car which can handle, which can take the abuse if you wish to. Never abuse cars, not in literal sense, but you know what I mean. So apart from the lovely steering response that this car offers, it is absolutely unreal. I think it is the best in 30-ish lakh budget. You cannot, brand new, mind you, you cannot get anything better than this. I think the Jeep Compass comes very close. I'm yet to take a test drive of it. And this car is super duper confidence inspiring. The handling is just too good to be true, man, too good to be true. And because of the quick throttle response, you can rev match super easily and super sweetly in this car. Rev matching is a complete love affair with this car. In-gear acceleration is a bit slow. Honestly, this car doesn't give you kick in the pants kind of feeling when you're out pushing the car hard. However, a remap could actually fix that. I'm not sure. I haven't driven any remapped cars, but when it comes to dynamics, forget remap, forget power, just cruise at 80 to 90, sliding through traffic like traffic rider. This car is something else, something unreal, something lovely. I'll just take a quick pull right now to show you what this car can do in terms of power. Also, I'm in traffic right now. I'm on a sort of an incline, and to stall this car on an incline, it's next to impossible kind of task. The reason being the torque. The car has a lot of healthy low end torque in the RPM range, lower down the RPM range, and the combination of a very quick throttle response and torque makes up for no stalling at all. But even if you do manage to stall the car, it gives a very loud thud kind of thing. Alright, let's do a small pull. This is not a rev happy engine, guys. This is not a rev happy engine. Post 3000 RPM, this car doesn't like to rev. It's just loud. There is no torque. There is no power in the higher rev bands, which makes it a bit less fun to drive than its petrol counterparts. The closest competition, I would say, would be the Polo 1 litre TSI, although that car is in another league in terms of power. But this car beats this car any day when it comes to handling and overall vehicle dynamics. My car, being a diesel, being 2018, which is approximately 5 to 6 years old, is completely smoke-free thanks to regular maintenance and an EGR clean, which I very recently completed. The main highlight, I've already talked about it, which is the lovely steering response. I think that actually makes up for all the losses in power, and it makes up for a very, very decent package overall. I've never felt the need of more power in this car. Only when I'm with my other friends who have faster cars than this, only then when I get the urge to get more power and get a remap for myself. But apart from that, in day-to-day usage, zero. I've got any needs for extra power from this car. What the 100 horses I have are actually apt for everyday usage, and I'm more than happy with that. Now, the two important aspects of ownership from an Indian perspective are maintenance costs and fuel costs. So as I've told earlier, the car can actually extract 17 to 18 kmph on an everyday usage, given that you drive with a light right foot and not take a lot of pulls, which a lot of common Indian people drive. How common Indian people drive. So that's your fuel cost sorted. And talking about the maintenance costs, the parts from Ford are relatively cheaper than German cars. So I'm comparing this car to German cars because German cars usually have such drive quality. Like, this car can easily compare and compete with any German car. I mean, not any German car, the cars in this price point. For example, the Taycan, the Kushaq, and let's take the Polo also. In terms of drivability, these cars come very close. And check these out. These people have no clue how to drive on Indian roads. And mechanically, these cars are super sound. You can expect Maruti service standards from this car and service costs, given that you maintain your car well and get it serviced at proper interval periods. Now we are reaching the end of the video, and I would like to make a statement which should conclude a lot about the car, and that is, this is a pure driver's car. If you fancy gimmicky features like a huge ass sunroof, ADAS, traction this, traction that, EBD, ASP, I mean, those are a few mandate things which I just mentioned. But apart from that, if you like gizmos a lot, this isn't the car for you. This is more of a monochrome, like an analog kind of car, which only true enthusiasts would love and appreciate. Now, a lot of you must be wondering, what is the future of Ford cars in India? Well, I've got a solid conclusion for anybody who's interested or looking forward to buy a Ford vehicle, especially the Ecosport in 2025 and beyond. Well, Ford has only left the country in terms of sales. They just don't sell new cars anymore. But apart from that, they are pretty much still present in the country. Their media team is quite active, and most importantly, their entire service team is thriving. My local workshop is powered by Ford. I get follow-up calls, I get brilliant customer engagement service, and whatnot. Talking about the cars, well, we can only hope for the best that the company returns in the coming years, but nothing can be assured. But if you still want to go for a Ford, I'd suggest close your eyes and buy one. But if you're from the NCR region, just don't get any diesel vehicle.